everybody, Chris Couture here. I want to thank you for joining me for my small leather goods and accessory video today. Now before we get started, you're going to notice when I do close-ups, I don't have a manicure. Well, that's because I work with kiddos, which means a lot of hand washing, which wrecks manicures pretty quickly. So a long time ago, I made peace with the fact my nails might look like a disaster, but I could take that money and put it towards things that were gonna stay prettier a lot longer. Okay, now let's get started. The very first small leather goods I want to go over, it is my newest one. It is by Chanel. It is the Boy Zip Coin Purse. It is in the lambskin in a buttery yellow color, traditional quilting pattern, and matte gold hardware. This particular one was made in Italy, and what I do love about it is it has 3 large slots. I have found that credit cards and IDs fit in here very comfortably while still allowing it to zip. So I tend to use this more as a card case than as a coin purse. And I just absolutely love the color of this particular one. My SA at the Nordstroms in Nashville, Tonya, I will put all of her information in the bio down below. She knows I love colors, so she texted this to me. I said, "Is that yellow?" I was afraid maybe the flash had washed out a white. She said yes. I told her, "I'm coming tomorrow. Don't let it go anywhere. It's mine." And as you can see, it did come home with me. And I just love it. Now, there can be some color transfer on this light of a color. If you're worried about that, I would suggest only put it in handbags with light colored linings, or as I did the first few days when I was afraid something would happen to it, you can keep it in the dust cover in your purse and only pull it out when you're actually getting into it, just to minimize any chance of color transfer. The next one I'm going to go over is my Louis Vuitton Josephine wallet in the monogram with the rose ballerine button. As you can see, one of the negatives from the colored buttons is that they will wear and you will start to see the metal behind it. It's a wallet. It doesn't bother me, so I just love it. It does have rose ballerine on the inside, and it does come with a removable zippered pouch that also has the rose ballerine tab. If you're going to be traveling with this wallet, one of the best features I think of this is that there is a pouch that runs the entire length of the wallet. You can stick money in it. It would be very well hid between the card case in the front part and the covering in the back. People would not know that there was any money down in there. As you can see, I still have some little bits running around. There is also 2 large slots, one right here and one right here. And there are 4 card slots. And this is my everyday wallet. This is the one that probably gets the most use just because it's so versatile. I absolutely love it. My very first SLG was this one right here. It has a very special meaning. It is the Louis Vuitton Pocket Agenda in the monogram pattern. As you will see, I have it hot stamped. This particular one was made in Spain. It has a couple of card slots, and it's got 2 large pouches. Typically, you would put your refill that you get from Louis Vuitton in here. What I've found is that it makes a great checkbook cover because they don't have one. Now, the meaning behind this and why it's so special with the hot stamp. It's the only thing, well, the only other thing I have hot stamped. I do have a luggage tag you'll see in a little bit. This was my motivation to myself to quit smoking. I took what I figured to be about 1 month's worth of cigarette money, bought this, got it hot stamped. I couldn't return it. It was mine. I didn't have any cigarette money, and that's how I motivated myself to quit smoking. Just so you know why this is probably the most special, even though it's my least expensive SLG. My next one is my Louis Vuitton small 3-ring agenda. It is in the monogram black multicolor. I did get this off of Fashion File. It was my first Fashion File purchase. They had marked it very good because there were some faint scratches on the hardware and the patina on the vachetta, but that didn't bother me. You can't buy multicolor in the stores anymore, so it made sense for me to get it from Fashion File. As you can see, I do have all my dividers, and I have some really cute markers in there. I do have it divided up by the month, week, to do, and some notes. All of my inserts and my paper I get off of Etsy. I will put links to those stores down below. And I will also put a link to Fashion File if this is the first time you're hearing about it. My very last small leather good is this right here. It is my key clay pouch. I actually do use it to put my key in it because I drive a Fiat and the key is very thick. I can't put it in regular key holders, so I found it fits very well in here. There's a lot more room than it looks to be. I love it because it does have a D-ring attachment for my purses that have D-rings. But if you have a purse that does not have a D-ring and you do not want it to scratch the lining, you can just put the chain inside. Also, I like to use this while I'm traveling. I have a travel-on purse that has a D-ring in it. What I like to do is to put my Metro passes, my Oyster cards, and either some pounds or some euros in here, so when I'm at a busy tube station and getting into it, I do not have to get into my purse. I can just pull things out, and it's very protective against pickpockets, to put it that way, because I never have to open up my handbag. Just another idea on how you can use this. Now that's all for my small leather goods. Now I'm going to get into my accessories. And for those of you who may just be starting to get into getting luxury designer goods, and you don't quite have the budget yet to make a large purchase, one of the best things you can get, one of the most budget-friendly things you can get from all the designers are sunglasses. These right here are my newest. They are the Burberry ones that my mom gave me for Christmas this year to go with my Burberry purse. They are a two-tone brown in a very gentle cat eye shape. They do have the traditional Burberry pattern on the arms. And I just love them, especially when I am carrying my Burberry bag. The next pair of sunglasses I have that I'm going to show you are very special. They were a gift from my husband for anniversary a couple years ago. They did come from Saks. They are Gucci. As you can see, they are a two-tone, black at the top, like a goldish brown at the bottom. They do have a very subtle pattern. You can see it a little better there. And they do have the Go GGs on the side. They are more of a square shape. There you go. I love them because although they're rather understated, they are classic Gucci. And my last ones, my favorite ones. They're my favorite one because they are Chanel, and I love Chanel, as I'm sure you have started to notice, but also because they are black and they are my Jackie O ones. These particular ones came from the Saks in Chevy Chase, Maryland, which is in the DC metro area. They have the silver CCs right here. I do have a great SA named Derrick there at that store. I will be putting all of Derrick's contact information down below. If you are going to be traveling to the DC metro area or live there, he's a great contact and resource to have. So again, Chanel, the beautiful silver CCs. They have that Jackie O look to them, especially for my size face. I just love them. And they're solid black, so you can't go wrong. They pretty much go with everything. Now, that's all my sunglasses. I'm going to talk about some of the things I add to my handbags just to give a little oomph and make them a little personal for me. This right here is a Louis Vuitton keychain. It was a gift to me. As you can see there, it says Louis Vuitton. It also has the Louis Vuitton on the key ring itself, which is just one of those details that makes it that much more special. It is very heavy. I was afraid to use it as a key ring because of how heavy it is, so I do instead use it as a bag charm. And because of how shiny it is, it grabs a lot of attention, especially if you are putting it on a purse with a damier ebene pattern. That dark with this is a beautiful contrast. My next one, I mentioned earlier, I have two things hot stamped. One was the pocket agenda, the other was the luggage tag. And this, as you can see here with my initials in the pink, has a very special memory attached to it. This actually came from the Avenue Montaigne store in Paris. I was there with somebody who was looking for a specific handbag. I guess they saw our purchases in the system. Somehow we ended up in the VIP section there, having things that we wanted to look at brought to us, and they let us buy our luggage tags. So every time I see this, I think of the experience and I just have to smile. Now, I do put my luggage tag on my Noe BB. I use it kind of like you would a bag charm, just to add a little personalization to it. Next are the bandeau scarves that I put with some of my handbags. Now this one right here that I'm going to show you first, it is the monogram trunks bandeau scarf. It is with the rose ballerine coloring. As you can see, there's some rose ballerine on this pet, and then there is some rose ballerine on the inside, so you get the rose ballerine no matter which side you are looking from. As you can see, it has been very well loved. That's because typically it is on my Neverfull MM, which is in the damier ebene pattern. It has rose ballerine lining, and I love to put this on it. It makes that rose ballerine pop that much more. And my next bandeau scarf is one that was just given to me recently. It was a limited edition. As you can see, the Speedies are on the front. The monogram is on the inside. I do typically keep it on my Speedy 30 in the monogram, but when my daughter graduated, it was set to rain that day. I really didn't want to carry my monogram one, so I did carry my Speedy 30 in the damier ebene with this scarf on it. It was a beautiful contrast, the dark. It made the patterns on the Speedies pop, and it's pretty. Like I said, this was a limited edition, so if you do want to try to find this one, I would suggest check websites out like Fashion File. Sometimes you can find the discontinued scarves on there. Speaking of scarves, I love to wear scarves, whether with blazer and dress pants or just a great turtleneck and jeans. So I have a few of them by different designers. This first one here, it is by Hermes. It is the carriage. Now, I have not seen this one on the website lately. I do believe this particular pattern may either be out of stock or discontinued. I am not sure. It is 100% silk. It's 36 by 36. It has a beautiful hunter green color to it, although it does have some blacks, silvers, blues, grays, and even a little hint of brown. I'm looking for the brown here that I can show you. There it is. So it does make it very versatile. I love it. I got this particular one from the Hermes store in the DC Center. It was the day after an election, and I'll let you decide if you think it was to mourn or to celebrate, but I did enjoy buying this right here. On that same day, I also went to Ferragamo, and whereas that one is more muted, this one was the total opposite. So again, this came from the Ferragamo in the DC Center store. It is all kinds of bright colors, busy pattern, village scene with a fountain. It does, I'm hoping you can see, there you go, there it is. It does have the little Salvador Ferragamo right there on it. Even though it's busy, it has so many colors, I found that I'm not limited as to what I can wear this with. This is also about 36 by 36 in size, and both of this and the Hermes retail for around $400. Approximately, prices can fluctuate, but just to give you an idea. My next one is a Gucci scarf. This was actually a gift from my mother for Christmas one year, and it is my more busy one, if you want to call it that. Not really busy, but it's the one that has the absolute brightest colors that stand out. Whereas the Ferragamo, all the colors kind of run together. This one is meant for the colors to be what you see. Each corner has a different face with a different color palette. The great thing about that is that if one color palette doesn't match what you're wearing, you can always swap it out for a different face. So I just love it. Kind of suits whatever mood I'm into, and I just wear it as much as I can just because it makes me happy. Again, this one is also approximately 36 by 36. This one is also in the silk, and it typically does retail for around the same as the Ferragamo and Hermes. Although you can find these in Gucci outlets. Sometimes they will really mark them down when they're having a sale around the holidays. So if you're in the market for a scarf and $400, you're like, are you kidding me? If you can get to a Gucci outlet right around Black Friday or around Christmas, sometimes you can find good deals. This one right here is my smaller Gucci scarf. It is also silk, but this is my most subtle one. As you can see, it is just black, taupe, and cream. And this one probably really gets the most use only because it's the most neutral. It doesn't hang down very far. I can wear it with t-shirts. I don't have to wear it with a blazer or a turtleneck like some of my other ones that hang down a little further. So this one is just as loved, a little more practical, and a little smaller price tag. I believe these tend to retail for closer to 200-ish versus the big ones. And again, the Gucci outlet carries these size, and sometimes you can find them on sale around the holidays. Okay, now I want to talk about my jewelry collection. And this is where it tugs on my heartstrings just a little bit, because my jewelry does have such special memories for the most part. Now these right here, these are just some simple Swarvoski hoops. I just happened to see these at the Swarvoski store, wanted a hoop, bought it. Nothing really special there. But these ones right here are also Swarvoski. As you can see, it's a beautiful, delicate, like vine and floral pattern to them. And they were a gift from my husband at Christmas a couple years ago. The most special are these right here. They are my Chanel. They are in gold. You can see the little rhinestones and the pearl. They're pretty classic Chanel. When you think of Chanel, this is kind of what I think of. These came from Tyson's Galleria. I went to celebrate my 40th birthday with some friends and family. My husband said, pick yourself up something special while you're there. So on my 40th birthday, went to Chanel Boutique, saw those, loved them. That was my 40th birthday gift. Kind of from my husband, kind of to myself, all at the same time. These next ones, right here, you can see they're in the silver. They're a circle with the rhinestones all around. And you have the CCs, again, with the clear stones. These came from Rue Cambon. I was in Paris. I wanted to buy something from Rue Cambon. So if that was the only thing Chanel I got on that trip, because I had some other things on my list, I at least wanted a pair of earrings. Saw these, loved them, bought them. Was telling the SA how much I love Chanel, and they asked if I wanted to go stand on the stairwell. Well, that was, of course, a yes. So I will insert a picture from where I was standing on the stairwell after I bought those earrings. Never mind the hair in a bun, maybe not the most flattering look, but it was 100 degrees in Paris, and that was all that my hair was going to do on that day. Now we're almost done. Let's talk about Tiffany. This right here, if I can get it to hang straight, there we go. It is my Tiffany key necklace. It has a little bit of filigree at the top. It is open heart. Tiffany blue is on the inside. There's the little T to make the key. It's one of their more understated keys, but I just thought it was so pretty. I did go ahead and opt for a heavier weight chain at the time I purchased it, only because there's a little weight to this, and the chain that came standard with it was a little thin. I was afraid of breaking it. And this came from the Tiffany store in Nashville as well. This last one, last but not least, it's the most tarnished because it gets the most wear. And that is my Return to Tiffany heart necklace that was gifted to me from my mom. I love it because it is the Return to Tiffany, but it still has that little miniature key with it. And when you buy Tiffany necklaces, this chain here is the one that tends to come standard, but this is a significantly lighter weight, so I don't worry about hurting it as much. So there you go. I really want to thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up, make a comment, and subscribe to my channel. Have a good day and happy shopping.